Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we'll be doing a video on...
Today we'll be doing another sit down video and we're going to be talking about 5 things that we do in our relationship to grow together. Let's just get into it.
Number 1 on that list is daily rituals.
Yeah, so daily rituals can be different for everyone, but you kind of just need to work out what works for both of you and what will help keep you guys grounded and on the same page, I guess.
So first thing we wake up is, how can I be your best teammate for the day, and our affirmations.
So with the with the affirmations, we've been saying them to each other for like the last year, and if we like weren't together we would text them to each other, and we just made that like a habit. And yeah, so we'll say them to each other in the morning just to like get the mood going, I guess.
It's a feng shui.
Get the vibes happening. And then we'll also like write them down when we journal. But yeah, we just find that vocally expressing these affirmations has been really useful. And
saying
then
it out loud has been a very good thing to do.
Yeah, re-emphasizes
Makes
those
it real.
things. Yeah, makes it real rather than just reading it. And then for the how can I be your best teammate, we discovered this. Who do we discover this from?
Calvin Coils.
Calvin Coils. Yeah, we started doing this probably the start of this year, and it just helps you start the day on the same page. So if there was something...
Oops.
If there was something like particular that you wanted from your partner that day, it's not a material thing, like I want you to buy me lunch or something like that. It can be more of like an emotional support. You're probably not going to express all these things just naturally, so it's good just to give each other a chance in the morning to express these things. A chance of love.
After we do our little journaling of affirmations, we do some meditation. Normally it's a gratitude meditation to bring us to grounded levels of goodness.
So we will meditate for 10 minutes just in the morning, and then generally it kind of depends on the training schedule, but we'll go for a walk together, and that's been really good in isolation because generally we wouldn't really be able to do that stuff. So I've just been taking advantage of that in isolation. So they're the 2 things we do together like in the daytime. And then at night,
get to bed, we sit down or lay down under the blankets tucked away. 5 things we're grateful for, 1 thing we learnt, and 1 thing we love about each other.
As we talked about, so just like the affirmations, we always say our gratifications to each other and we write them down in our journal as well. And then after that we do what we've learnt, so that can be anything like individually or in a like relationship. What's the word I'm looking for?
Could be anything.
In a relationship.
A relationship terminology.
Terms, yep. And then we do what we love about each other, and that's just to make sure we give each other those little compliments and stuff that are generally overlooked in a relationship, especially when you've been with each other for a while. You can get a bit...
Can easily get complacent.
Complacent.
Took the words right out of your mouth.
Complacent. Yeah. So we obviously don't want that, and in order to grow together and not get comfortable in a relationship, you need to make sure you're like maintaining those little things, because the little things can mean a lot to someone, so you just need to remember that. So number 2 is making sure that you have constant communication.
Constant communication means communicating everything at all times. So that means if you're going to the market, say I'm going to the market. If you're going to the bed, go I'm going to bed. Or you're not coming to bed, so I'm not coming to bed.
When we're talking about communication, we mean both positive and negative things. So I wouldn't say like negative, but you can communicate like your thoughts and feelings, or just how you're feeling in the relationship or within yourself.
Love right now.
Whether it's like a good thing or a bad thing. So communication, it is, yeah, like what you're doing and communicating what you're doing for the day and what your expectations of each other are, but it can also have like a deeper meaning, and not being afraid to speak up about things if they're bothering you,
Don't be afraid to be vulnerable.
Yeah, rather than just saying what you think is going to make the other person happy. Like, you should be able to be honest, and if there's any issues, you should be able to say that, like, openly to your partner without getting bad reactions or judgments.
Be reactive.
Try not to be reactive.
Which is hard sometimes.
It can be hard when you're in a heated moment, but
that's why you got to think of these things like breathing, come back to the situation in a neutral emotion, with a neutral emotion, rather than going into it hot or
not taking things personally. Number 3 is checking in with each other and constantly setting goals. So goal setting is obviously very important in every aspect of your life individually to get to where you want to be, but it's also very important in a relationship because you could have a certain vision or goal you want to obtain, but it could be completely different than your partner's. So you need to, like, obviously communicate that and be aware of what both of your goals are. Otherwise, if you do start to drift apart and kind of notice that you're going in different directions, you might not even be aware of what the other person is aiming towards. So you need to be clear with each other of what your goals are and what you two, like, want to achieve together. So we've written out our goals and we, like, revisit them, and if one of us isn't really feeling like we're achieving something, or we're just, I don't know,
you bring yourself back to the same grounded level to see where you're at. Otherwise, you guys will just be on 2 different paths.
And you just need to, like, constantly check in with that, because people's goals are going to change over time, or where they're headed. So yeah, you just need to
go the one direction together. Otherwise, there's no point being together.
And you need to, like, communicate those things, because how are you supposed to know how you can help your partner if you don't know what they're trying to achieve? So yeah, obviously we've got some, like, business goals together and personal goals and just things we want to achieve in the next, like, 3 to 5 years. So it's important to, like, plan all that out and have it in writing.
So they could be both sort of in a different direction, but at the same time still in the same direction with the same goal.
Yeah.
Number 4. So scheduling a time for date night every week.
Or just little, like, occasions or anything.
Where you're doing things together.
Different.
Because it's very important, because if you live together, for instance, us, we started living together in February, then end of March, boom, we're in isolation, bang, we're stuck together.
Yep.
But it's important to always sort of making sure we do those date nights once a week, or doing activities together, where it is important to, like, connect on a different level, on the same level.
Yeah, it is. It's hard when you live together and you have to, I'm not saying you have to be together every day, but because of isolation and everything, it's a bit more of a test of how well you guys can, like, cooperate together, because it's very easy for it to start feeling the same.
How you can chill it together.
Yeah, it's very easy for it to start feeling like literally the same thing every day, and feeling like you're just doing, like, housework and cooking and stuff together, which obviously isn't, like, I mean, it's a lifestyle you want, but, like, I'm only 22 years old, so I still want to have that, like, those fun little nights and just doing different things together. So it can just be something, like, simple, like going out and getting food. I think it's also hard when you do get out of, like, your little party phase and going to clubs every weekend, because you actually need to find
I've never been to a club.
Other things.
What a joker.
Angie Asimus, 7 News.
I think it's, like, even more important after you've kind of reached that phase, and just putting in a bit more effort and trying to, like, initiate those nights and just doing different things together. And also having little things that you schedule in for yourself. So obviously we want to grow together, but to do that we need to still have time to do things on our own. Like, for example, just going for walks by ourselves.
They're important,
like,
because if you're always together, then you sort of forget what it's like to be independent.
Yeah, and isolation has made it harder to do those things, because we are in the same house, but we're very fortunate to have a house and not a tiny apartment. So we actually do have space here, and we can go off and do our own thing. Like, I always have baths, and that's just my little, like, time where I chill by myself, watch YouTube, and just yeah, don't do anything in particular. But
Or
it's
I
been
just
good.
like to sit down and do whatever on my own.
Or you've
be
been
lost in
working,
my
or you've been
world.
working on the shed, so that's been good. So we've both been like working on different things, and we're not literally like hanging off each other all day.
Building a
Otherwise-
3-level gym at the moment. I'm level 1 at the moment.
But anyway, if you're together,
Freeze! Put your hand up.
if you're together 24/7, you just find
You will go to sleep when I put you to sleep.
you'll just like bicker all the time, and although that's like fine, it can just turn into like
Pearl loves a bicker.
the way you talk to each other
Just
all the
kidding.
time.
We love each
We've
other.
been bickering all day today, but that's fine.
Bickering with hickory.
That's what happens when we try and like make content, because some things happen that don't go to plan. And the house
Like
is always
having a
Hey, what?
chocolate block full of memory on your bloody memory stick.
And I always turn the house upside down each time because
She can't decide what to wear, what to do.
then
That's
anyway,
fine, everything's
It's all
fine.
good. It's all the process of doing these
It's all a
things.
part of learning and growing together, isn't it, Isabella?
Okay, lastly,
What number is this
number
one?
5
Mambo number 5.
is being aware of love languages. This I think is probably most important. Or yeah, probably
It
most
is very.
important. So
Because your love language could be completely different to your partner's.
yeah. So let's just explain like what a love language is, because I know there's some people that probably wouldn't know what it is. So it basically just means that, so there are several different love languages. I think they're
Love generation.
physical touch, words
Ooh.
of affirmation, acts of service, like material things like gifts, or what was the last one? I think I said them all. service, Physical touch, affection.
Words of affirmation.
Oh, and quality time. Okay,
Oh, yes.
so there's those
Ooh,
5.
Nice one.
So there's those 5 love languages, and what it means is your like hierarchy, which one's most important to you, is how you will perceive like the love that someone's giving you. So for example, if my love language is physical touch, then I'm going to value that more than just getting a gift. So for some people it can be like hard to understand, because they might be going and buying someone that they like all these gifts and showering them with things and thinking that they should respond
Same
with
as
like a
you would.
mutual
Yeah.
like for that situation, and that they would like fall in love with you because of that. But then in reality their love language would be physical touch, so they're not valuing the material thing as much as they'd value the physical touch. So that's just how they prefer to receive like love. So yeah, I think we became aware of that, and we spoke about what we think our love languages are, and mine's like physical touch and acts of service.
Where
like,
mine
pretty
is
close.
words of affirmations.
Yeah, yours is probably more words of affirmation and
And
physical.
physical. Let's get physical.
So we both obviously like affection, and we're like affectionate people together. But yeah, I appreciate when Jack like helps me do like jobs around the house, and just showing that he is putting an effort to do those things for me. That would mean more to me than him like saying, "Oh, you're so hot," or whatever.
She's hot, she's
Oh,
shot,
yeah.
8 o'clock.
Yeah, obviously they all go on like a list of like 1 to 5, so that those things are still all important to me. But you got to think of what you would be like most upset about if they didn't do it, and it would probably be that. I think like as a woman, a lot of people would agree with that. The acts of service is like a big one.
Mine are words of affirmation. So to me, if Bella says, what's words of affirmation again?
So it's like me like not giving me like compliments and stuff, but it's like
It's just like
confirming that
for-
you
to,
like mean a lot to me and stuff like that.
yeah,
And
so
obviously I'm
or
like, like that.
acknowledging that I've done something, even though, like, to people, some people, you doing something, is like, yeah, I've done that. But if someone acknowledges it to me, that's just like makes me feel good, and that's my love language, or physical touch.
With physical touch, it goes without saying that when you are in a long-term relationship, it can be, you have to put in the work really when it comes to
It doesn't just happen.
intimacy. So you need to be aware of that, and because both of our love languages are physical touch, very like high up on the list, then we know that we both need to like put in effort to like make that happen. It's not just going to naturally happen because we do live together and we're around each other all the time. So it can be very easy to just like not even worry about it, I guess.
It's easy to forget and not pay attention to.
Yeah, it's easy when you don't live together, because when we didn't live together and we'd see each other, we'd gone however many days without seeing each other.
Could be like 12 days
Could
sometimes.
be like 12 yeah, so like obviously
the natural
it's very
thing is
different.
the love language will be easily picked up on, but
Yeah.
when you live together all the time, you're always together, that's easily forgotten about.
And it doesn't mean that you're not attracted to the person or you're not as, like, you don't think they're as good as you used to. It's just the fact that like you've adapted to being around them each day.
You're so familiar with each other, then it
Yeah.
just becomes normal.
Yeah, so
That's why
I think-
relationships are so fucking hard.
yeah,
Put in the fucking hard work.
I think just to take away from that, you're not going to naturally always like be thinking about that stuff when you're in a long-term relationship, but you've got to like differentiate lust and love, and you've got to know that if you do love the person, then you've got to keep putting in work and emphasizing that to each other through like different ways. Okay, so
That concludes our
Concludes
video
the
for
video.
today, guys. Valuable content for you guys out there to learn and grow from.
We hope you guys enjoy this and can
Give us a thumbs up, give us a like, subscribe.
maybe like put these into practice in your relationship, and yeah, we'll see you in our next video.
Ciao for now, but not forever.